in your garden, going slowly, lingering, going deliberately much slower than you are comfortable with, to feel it much more fully, to know your body, linger with it, go slowly, like I teach in the beginnings of the meditation. So you don't rush off into the breath and try and get enlightened 10 minutes before the meditation finishes. That's why people are stupid. They rush so fast. So if you linger and slow down, you find you see more, you feel more, you know more. This is how we find the meaning of life. Now, of course, those of you who are smart enough would understand, how do you do this? This is precisely what you do in the training of meditation. Meditation is not just to get rid of your cancers, to get rid of your stress, to be more positive in life. Yeah, those are the side benefits. But the main reason is so you can become wise, so you can see. As far as Buddhism is concerned, it was meditation as a way for finding wisdom, for finding the meaning of life. In this talk I told you that the whole purpose of this talk is to show how you find the meaning of life. Not belief, not reading a book and believing the book, not believing the teacher, not sort of believing the creed and being another religious fundamentalist, a born-again Buddhist. Although I must say that all Buddhists are born-again Buddhists because we believe in reincarnation. But it's not the real born-again idea. The extremists who believe anything. But when you learn how to slow down, when you learn how to have energy by resting, by following a middle way, when there's no desire, there's no ill will, then you are free to see the truth. And that's what we do in meditation. Have you ever noticed when I talk about meditation, make peace with this moment. Allow it to be. Embrace it. Which is mean no desire, no ill will, no wanting it to be something different. No rejecting it because you're uncomfortable, you're painful, but getting to know these things. You can't know anything when you reject it through ill will, or when you want something more, you're trying to get onto the next stage, the next moment, trying to get into enlightenment or whatever. That's all desire. Stay where you are. Rest. Get energy. Be still. Then you'll find what the meaning of life is. And that was totally different to this transcript which somebody told me. It was all about either believing or being logical, being reasonable, arguing, working it all out, using your intellect. Now you've all done that before. It doesn't work. There has to be another way of finding a truth, finding meaning, finding something which really is so true, it does work, takes away the problems of life. Now I know why I was hurting, why I was suffering, why I was pained. You do this through making the mind still, going slow, resting, getting your energy up. No desire, no ill will, making peace with the moment, being kind, being gentle, being here. Being here long enough to get your energies up, being still enough to see the truth, to see the Dhamma, just like a Buddha sitting under a Bodhi tree, being so still. He didn't need to read a book to be the wisest person who ever lived. He didn't need a university degree. Just needed to be still, to see, to take away all this wishful thinking, all this fear coming from ill will, to see the truth of things. That's the only reason why monks like me go to nice gigs like at the Sheraton in Hua Hin, Thailand, because you've been still enough to let go and allow that wisdom to come and to flow. I never got wise by going to university. That was a complete waste of time. Not really a waste of time. I had a lot of fun, but not really sort of a best way of using your time. You never got wise by reading all the suttas and the Abhidhamma and all this sorts of stuff. That's just more ideas. It was Ajahn Chah, this monk. He'd only done grade 4 at school, that's all. Someone, that's all they had at school. And that was amazing. You go as a young monk, when I was just 23, go to Thailand, and here you got all your university degrees, from Cambridge University, and this guy, grade 4, has already completed. And he was so smart, you felt a fool in his presence. And how can someone become so smart and so wise and see things so deeply? Because he knew how to be still. Because he let go of his desires and cravings. He didn't want to see the world the way he wanted it to see. He had no ill will, no fear left. So he could see things as they truly are. So if you want to find the meaning of life, this is classic Buddhism. It doesn't matter whether you're Tibetan Buddhist, whether you are Theravada Buddhist, Hinayana Buddhist, Zen Buddhist, Mahayana Buddhist, whatever Buddhist, it doesn't matter what you call yourself. It's all about learning how to let go of those hindrances, to stop them, resist them, so you can really see what's really happening in life. And when you do that, it's not just seeing the brilliant teachings of Buddhism, it's learning how to relate to a person. You can be friendly towards anybody. You can have great fun. You can work in the dirt one moment, and then you can actually be the big shot the next moment. It doesn't really matter, because you're not holding on to anything. You see the truth of things in the stillness of the mind. So, meaning of life. This is how you find that meaning of life. And you know it's the truth. Sometimes a person asks me, if you are really still, how do you know it really is the truth? It's not because it's exactly how it says in some sort of book. You know it's the truth by what it does to you in your life. If it does take away the problems, the fears, the suffering of life, truth is what eradicates suffering. So the more close you get to truth, the more peaceful and happy your life becomes. So anyone who comes up to me and says, they're enlightened, but they still argue with their husband. No way. If you're not a happy, peaceful person, then you don't understand what the truth is. The truth is something which will liberate you from those problems. And that's like an acid test of how wise a person is. So a person comes here and says, I've been meditating for so many years, I've been coming to this place for the last 20 years. He said, I'm so wise. Doesn't really matter. They may have written so many books. That doesn't really matter. A wise person is a person who has very little suffering in life. Not just because things are going well. They've got no suffering even when things are falling apart. That's the test. I read this poem many years ago. It's easy enough to be happy when life goes along like a song, but the one worthwhile is the one who can smile when everything goes all wrong. Can you do that? When your plane is plummeting to the ground. I'm going on an aircraft tomorrow. Hope we don't hit turbulence. Can you be happy when the doctor comes along and says, you've got cancer? I mentioned Dr. Kesri Dhammananda, who's been here. I read in his in his biography. He died of cancer. When he was diagnosed with cancer, the doctor told him, you've got cancer. You know what he did? He laughed. He just broke up laughing. His doctor said, that's the only time I've ever seen anyone who's been diagnosed with cancer laughing. Now that's a good monk. Can you do that? Why not? It doesn't cost anything. It's probably better for your health. Now that's a sign that guy was wise enough actually to show his wisdom by how he reacted to one of the things which really scares you in life. How are you going to react when somebody dies? Can you laugh? Can you be at peace and happy? Knowing that, yep, this is what happens. We had a wonderful time to get together. Fare ye well. Thank you for being here so long. That's the sign of wisdom. Wisdom is what makes you at peace with life, which gives you happiness no matter what happens. The one who can smile when everything goes all wrong. So that's the meaning of life. That's how it's found out. And that's what it tastes like once you've found that meaning. And just to sum up again, all by letting go of some of your desires and wishful thinking. Be real. And don't let the ill will and the negativity bend the truth because you just don't like to face up to the truth. It's not that bad. Death, separation, breakup of relationships, failing examinations. A lot of kids have just done their examinations. One of the kids was just telling me this evening about just finishing one of her exams. It's great when you fail an examination. It's one of the best things you can ever do. Because when you fail an examination, you don't have to take it again. When you pass, there's always more examinations next year. Get it out of the way early. You have a more fun life. And don't believe examinations are going to make you happy. Rather passing. There used to be an old graffiti at Cambridge. Exams kill by degrees. That's what they said. So everybody knows just because you get your university degree, BA, MA, PhD, whatever you get, doesn't make you smart and wise. There's many more things which make you successful in life than that. So keep things in perspective. When you're wise, nothing really harms or hurts you in life. Then you know what wisdom is. You found the meaning of life. Freedom from suffering. Okay, so that's the talk this evening. How to find the meaning of life. Do you understand that? You don't have to come back again next week, do you? Okay, any questions or comments about this evening's talk? Wow, you are enlightened after all. Okay, there we go. So, no questions, no complaints. We can have the commercials. So please stay for a commercial break from the President of the Buddhist Society of Western Australia.